Good morning, everyone. I just want to, sorry that I can't be there today, first of all. And second of all, I want to just let you know my expectations for the day. Obviously, the first is that you're on your best behavior. And the second is to kind of talk about your project that I'm having you work on. So, remember on Friday, we talked about various forms of characterization. And I had you pick your partner. One of you is Lori, and one of you is Mom. And I know there's a group with a dad in it as well. So, just to refresh your memory of what we did, if you go into Schoology and you go into your CSEP folder, there is a Charles folder that should be available to you. And in that folder, there are a few different things. One is the story in case you don't have enough books in front of you. This is the PowerPoint that we went over the other day together, the different types of characterization, so that you can refresh your memory. What is the character's physical appearance, speech, thoughts, actions, reactions to characters, and then this is your assignment right here. So if you need a refresher, that is right there. Come back into Schoology, this PDF right here is what we highlighted in our presentation, where when we talked about physical appearance, what did we highlight that helped us know that this woman was facing something that was plaguing her in some way? How did we know this man was wealthy and he was maybe somebody important? That way you can kind of take a look at, well, how do I use character speech to let my reader know who the character is without being like, oh, this person's mean. All right, so you can take a look at that. The next thing that I have for you here is your rubric of how I'm grading you on this project. So one more time, looking at my expectations for this project. With your partner, you're writing a brief dialogue that takes place between Lori and his mother after she returns from the PTA meeting. You have to include at least 3 types of indirect methods of characterization in your dialogue. So, physical appearance, speech, thoughts, actions, other characters' reactions. All right, so you have to include at least 3 of those types. So, I want to show you the rubric that I will be grading you on, and that you will actually be grading your peers on as well. Oh, it didn't turn out well. Okay, the sub or Mr. Steele, I'm not sure who's in there, is going to hand you the rubric right now. Once you finish watching this video, they're going to go over the rubric with you. It's your job to make sure that you have every part of the rubric in your paper. And what's going to wind up happening is you're going to trade your paper with another group, and they're going to grade you first, and then I will grade you. All right, so keep that in the back of your mind. You're going to be trading your paper with another group for them to grade you, and then I will grade you. So let's remind ourselves of how you need to go about finding your project. And I have the reminders right down here, but I'm going to show you through Google Drive as well. Remember, you should have been in Google Drive on Friday in your 7th grade folder, in your ELA folder. You should have moved your joint project into that folder, Lori versus Mom. If you can't find it and you were Mom, it might be in your shared with me, and you're going to want to drag your shared with me into my drive. So when you open up, here's just some reminders. Yours is going to be where your dialogue is, but here are your reminders from me. You want to make sure that you are talking as if you are Mom or you are Lori. Okay, for example, if this was my dialogue, I'm going to say, "What's up, you old gal? You get enough sleep last night? You got some bags under your eyes." That would be as if I was Lori. Mom might respond, "Lori, we really need to talk about something. Please sit down." Okay, so I'm taking my ideas of how those 2 characters talk in the story and I'm continuing it here. Okay, then I'm going to add in a little bit of action. Lori slides down the banister, knocking over the fresh laundry. All right, I'm going to put a period. And then Lori's going to say, "I'm busy, Ma." Okay, so again, I'm talking the whole time back and forth like we're Lori and Mom. So Lori, you'll take on Lori's personality. Mom, you're going to take on Mom's personality. Your second reminder is to think about how you're going to use the different types of characterization to make this dialogue meaningful. So remember, I'm asking you to include 3 types of characterization. So think about how Shirley Jackson did that in her writing. So for example, her physical characteristics in Charles. Laurie was described as having been a sweet-voiced tot who wore overalls and bibs. Now he's wearing blue jeans and swaggering off with the girl next door. It shows us that he's gone from this angelic youngster to this sassy big boy, okay, just by describing what they look like. Character speech. Laurie's seen as a snotty kid when he says to his dad, "Hey, Pop, you old dust mop." Think about what other phrases he says that made you kind of wince and be like, "Ooh, if I said that to my parents, forget it." Character's thoughts. Laurie's mom's telling the story. She's constantly sharing with us how she feels and thinks about the situation as it unfolds. And her thoughts help us see that she's a pushover when it comes to parenting. She never really corrects Charles at all. Character's actions. Laurie's knocking over his sister's milk, stealing cookies from the table, bringing muddy wagons in the house. And this is showing us that he's a mischievous kind of kid. Make sure you do your spell check, unlike I did. You want your character's responses to other characters. Like Laurie's mom is always responding to Laurie's sassiness by ignoring it and changing the subject. It helps us to see that his mom views him as an angel. Now that doesn't mean that in your dialogue that's how mom's going to react. If you think this is a turning point and mom's going to start being harder on Laurie, make sure that is clear in your dialogue. And then 3, you have to finish your dialogue and fill out your rubric today, okay? You want to judge yourself based off the rubric. If you happen to finish early, you can go into the Schoology folder, and that's entitled, "What Do I Do When I'm Done?" But I want you to make sure that you do a really good job. Look at your rubric. They're going to hand out the rubric once more right now. Go over it. Make sure your grammar looks good, all the different skills we've learned in our Get 'em so far. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.